give you a little driving chat here. But, you know what comes to mind when I think about Brett Kavanaugh and this Me Too allegation is I just picture Brett Kavanaugh going to a press conference and being like Allen Iverson and being like, instead of saying practice, he's saying high school drama? What you talking about? High school drama? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he should just come out and give a press conference saying this is the most ridiculous thing ever. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I mean, in high school, the guy's not even 18 years old, even if he is. I mean, at the end of the day, these allegations, it's like with the Trump collusion and things like this. It's like, at the end of the day, if they even get to prove what the allegations are, does it even mean anything? I mean, I don't know. It's like, come on, in high school? Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to put a side-by-side of Stormy Daniels and this Brett Kavanaugh accuser with the details and pictures of each and say, which one do you all believe, you Democrats believe, is the more truthful story or person here? And because I'm just curious to know if people would take the side of Stormy Daniels, the porn star, yada, 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 or this lady. I think I've seen a picture of her, and she looks rather modest. I think she's a DNC contributor. She's a Bernie contributor. She's a never Trumper. Sorry about that. And sorry about that. And because honestly, what are they? There's logic is out the window, obviously, but the interesting thing here is just to kind of see how ridiculous these claims can go. Because otherwise he would have a libel lawsuit here, which should be filed. And that would just be interesting if it went to the Supreme Court and he recused himself. I don't know. It seems like if these allegations are without merit, there's a legitimate case for libel here. And at the very least, this is going to blow up in the Democrats' face. They got nothing. They're going to get crushed in November. They have no candidate. They have been totally run by people on the outside of politics, pulling the strings for entirely way too long. And now, none of those people that have been pulling the strings, they're trying to find a candidate that'll be strong enough to win and popular enough to win while simultaneously also just taking orders from all the corporate interests, things like that. So, honestly, what I'd like to see happen is take a Tulsi Gabbard. The Democrats support her. I frankly don't care much at all for her policies, but that is somebody that I can disagree on policies, but thoroughly respect as a person, wholeheartedly, and would like to see the Democrats have a strong candidate. that differs on policy, but is a respectable, strong person that understands the corruption, understands what's going on, and just like she stepped down from the DNC because she thought it was unfair what happened to Bernie Sanders. She recently did a Joe Rogan podcast, and it was fantastic. I mean, I think she's gonna probably run. I think she could be the first female president of the United States. I don't think I'd vote for her at all. But why are the true liberals in America not actually going out and finding the strong candidate and actually, making the Democrat Party into what they want it to be? Right now, it's totally unattractive. I mean, the people that are locked into it are just simply because they think it's fighting these conservatives or these, mean people that don't care for anybody else, and it's these people that have all these, this thought, that I used to have back when I was naive and didn't understand quite simply how things worked, especially economics. And I thought, conservatives are just mean people that don't care for others or the environment or things like that. And then once I got, even into, late high school, college, it was easy to flip the switch and see how misled I was by all the lies. And the hypocrisy, it's just like they make a straw man out of these people that largely just care for others, but they don't feel like they need to do it through the government, to say the least. But not to go on a big rant here, but do we take Stormy? I mean, I say we kind of see how this thing rides. I mean, we're gonna win in November. When I say we, I mean normal people that have candidates that aren't trying to run on gimmicks and a bunch of BS. We're talking about, for the most part, that's the Republican Party right now, although there's a lot of Republicans that are garbage as well. But we at least need Republicans to get in there so that we can hold them to an account for what the Trump agenda has been. Now, it's not always easy to do once a Republican gets in there, but if they run on a Republican ticket, it makes it far less likely and far harder for them to vote against the policies that the president and people are lobbying for. Anybody in the Freedom Caucus, love them, but sorry, I digress, but we're going to win in November. We got 6 more years of Trump. If Kavanaugh doesn't get in, I mean, so be it. But if Kavanaugh doesn't get in and they go all in on this lady and then they say, oh yeah, all right, Stormy Daniels, we'll give you that one. That was a little funky, but we're going to go all in on this lady because she seems legitimate, and Brett Kavanaugh is a horrible person, worse than Trump, yada, yada, yada. Then that's fine. But I mean, if they think that they're not going to get a Supreme Court, if they think that, I guess they have to try, but they're going to, in my mind, they're going to have to protest Kavanaugh for 6 freaking years. And honestly, you got Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I mean, Trump's going to have 3 appointments to the Supreme Court. I mean, if anything, if I was a Democrat, and I'm not, but I still feel this way, I am saying we need to forget about the Republicans for a minute and focus on our own party. Get a legitimate candidate that has a platform that is absent of what the conservatives do, or even talking about conservatives. Lay forth your agenda, lay forth your policies, and push the policies based upon merit, not based upon getting back or basically have them all hinged upon it damaging or hurting the Republicans or reversing the Republicans' tax cuts, things like that. It's just either they change or die. I mean, that's how I view it. And everybody may say I'm crazy, but people have been saying I'm crazy for a long time. Except I seem to somehow keep getting it right when it comes down to Trump winning, when it comes down to who's winning these primaries, who's winning the House. I mean, they keep thinking there's going to be this red wave. It's just not going to happen. Establishment media, I mean, they have zero credibility. That's why they're going after all of these alt-tech content creators like Alex Jones, and you know, people are able to have a voice, speak honesty, you know, real news. You know, I'm happy to have real news that may be factually inaccurate, but is real in terms of the person is speaking their mind and what they truly feel and know, even if it's ignorant. That is more real to me than blowing up some, you know, tiny little detail that may be, you know, factually correct, but totally unproportionate to the landscape and the environment, and then hammer that home for every freaking day for 2 months until you turn the tiniest little incident or detail into what people believe to be some sort of massive problem or issue. That to me is more fake news than somebody just trying to get it right, exploring, learning, seeking knowledge. I mean, no one knows it all. I mean, don't we all agree on that? Nobody knows it all. So, yeah, people are going to be wrong sometimes. But isn't it more important to be wrong and be able to say something and then learn and be corrected and have a forum for dialogue than to just be overran by somebody who wants to bulldoze or just totally exaggerate a tiny detail, and then meanwhile, you know, you have crime, you have people getting killed every day in the streets of the United States, and nobody even cares about that. We're too focused on what happened to somebody in high school. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've had stuff happen, you know, to me that's unfortunate, but I think we can all agree that things have happened to all of us that are unfortunate, and I don't think that there's any human really that hasn't done something in the course of their life that they don't regret. And if you have, then I don't know why the hell you're watching or listening to this. I mean, and I frankly don't have any interest in ever running into somebody like that, because that's not real. So I think we just need to get real and be real and be authentic and genuine, rather than this fake BS where you turn on and it's like, you know, these people, you know, people are so locked into the TV, into their phones, and they think what they're viewing on there or these shows or somewhere, Hollywood is anywhere near like reality. It's just, come on. It's like, that's the propaganda. That's the fake news. That's the brainwashing. You're really going to put a ban on somebody that sits in front of a microphone and TV and like act and just... No. Basically, these tech companies think everybody's a big flippin' idiot and they can't make up their own mind and they're way smarter than everybody else. That's not going to last. I own Google stock. I bought Google stock a long time ago. I got stock in all these companies, and frankly, it's sad to see that they're profiting and that they've gotten to this point. I don't know. Anyway, sorry for the rant. Hope you enjoyed it. Right Side Nation. Talk soon.